Now, you weren't expecting this video, were you? Well, this is my rest day. I will be probably talking about my progression and generally my journey. So like how I went from this to this right now. Just gotta put that in the editing thing. But yeah, how I got there. Well, the video you see here is me at like 16. I used to be very, very skinny. I weighed around 69 to 70 kilos in this picture. I was 5'11" and extremely insecure. Mainly, I just felt like, I was ugly. That was my main thing. I just felt like I was ugly. I ain't gonna find anybody, because honestly, high school was kind of hard for me because I didn't really have friends getting in there. But towards the end, I did decide that I had friends. So and I'm still friends with some of them now, which is a good thing. But yeah, at this stage, I was just doing martial arts. I was just like extremely skinny. Well, I think it was like the main thing on my weight was probably because I had very, very dense bones. Because in no way someone that looks like that is like 70 kilos off the bat. Meanwhile, there's guys that are 70 kilos yet look absolutely jacked. So, but yeah, that bit of my start out was I want to get into the gym to improve my power and my core strength. So what I did was I went to this gym. This was in the middle of year 11. So I don't know what that is for Americans, but it was in the middle of year 11, and yeah, I quit. Honestly, I quit after one day because I was so terrified of what people thought of me. And I was like, people are looking at me like I'm a goddamn monkey and everything. They probably think I'm just some skinny twat kid or something like that. And it's like, and now I look at it, it's like they probably were just like dazed or something, I don't know. But yeah, I quit my first gym membership in the first day. But then I move on to where it was like my local leisure centre, because in the UK we have leisure centres for people to get into activities, sort of thing. It's like a community centre. I believe American has that, or other places in the world. But yeah, it's more swimming, you have your gym, you have your track and field and all that kind of shit. But yeah, I went to that. I went with my mum first. I know, what a surprise. I went with my mum most of the time. I went once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. Then it progressively got a lot more, and honestly, all I did was bike, legs, core, and movements to do with punches and stuff. That's all I did for like probably the first 3 months of my journey. It was only like when it came to month like 4 and 6 that I decided, I tried like what the other people were doing, because I was like looking at them like, what are they doing? What's that to do? So I started to do their like workouts almost, and yeah, my form was shit. I remember one, I think you can see right now. There was a guy doing something like this, so like a bit of a shrug. I did it like this. As you can tell, I was a big newbie. But it didn't stop me from Because I know people probably judged me or whatever, thinking, oh, what the fuck's this kid doing here and all that shit. So I just kept on persisting with it, and yeah, I managed to, because I did have some mental health struggles and some personal struggles. I did go to a charity that managed to help me. It's a local charity to where I live, and there was this big bodybuilder guy that it's also like talking about your shit and also exercising, so promoting that bit. So yeah, he gave me a bit of a program, push pull legs, and that's when in November of I believe it was 2022, yeah. I actually started to take this stuff seriously. My stats at that time were probably 60 kilo bench for around 10, because I always went up in 10s beforehand. But by then, I could deadlift probably one. I didn't deadlift at all, but when I tried, I could deadlift 140. But with my squat, I kept that consistent. It was more, I could squat 140 for 10 by the time I actually took things seriously, because I always knew, squats were best for power and everything. So yeah, I managed to get up to 140 before then. And throughout my progression, I will also put a picture up here. This was November time. And I will put another mid video showing the course of how I looked when I did my like explosive power training, whatever weirdo training, you know. But yeah, I started to take things seriously, started to do the movements. Granted, not the best form in the world, but I made sure that I sort of like did my research, I did all my stuff to think, oh yeah, this is how you do it. So lat pull down. You pull down to your chest and slowly back up. Pull down to your chest, slowly back up. I had all my cues in, basically. And this what led me to look like this after probably like, it was like around February time. And I'll just let it roll because I think there was a few. But yeah, definitely was getting a bit bigger, and I was definitely lean back then. Like, I think I was around probably 12%. That's probably what I'm predicting. Like around that percentage in those photos. Then move on a couple of, months. I started to look like this. Now, I will definitely say this is probably my best back picture I've ever, someone's ever took of mine. Not gonna lie, I still have that today, and I'm like, how the fuck did I manage to do that? I don't see that in my back anymore. Probably because my back's got a bit wider and it just doesn't look the same, so I suppose it's something. But yeah, I was extremely impressed with myself by looking at these. But yeah, I just kept on going. There's only been one time in my entire gym lifting I've skipped a day. I skipped it because I had trouble at home. I had trouble everywhere in my life, so I sort of skipped it. But then I was like, I vow not to do that ever again. So I just never did it again. And I'll let you watch my first 200 kilo attempt. Granted, my form is terrible, but I can do it a lot better now. but just minus the fucked up leg. I'll let you see that. But yeah, that was my like squat attempt. I was 17. That was like summertime, so I was like cutting, because of course summertime you cut. And I was going on holiday, so I was like, oh, I want to cut all the fucking flab off. So, and that's what led me to look like this. Now, granted, I think this is the most, probably my favourite picture, because I actually look lean and big. For the first time, I was like, oh, wow, my front actually looks better, you know. And yeah, it's when I like around this time I was just like I was going into my second year of college. For Americans, that is last year of high school, and for others that go up until they're 18. So I was turning 18 around this time, and honestly it was my first relationship, so yeah, I'd say life was going good at this point, after probably a year previous. So like my first year at college was kind of shit due to problems at home, problems at college, all sorts going on. And the gym was my only sort of comfort, which is why I like sort of promote it so much, because I was like, it helped me so it can help somebody else. And yeah, it helped me mentally and physically to, you know, push through those times of when things just felt like shit. And I kept going. I decided to bulk up at this stage. I'm still bulking now, so it's more of a lean bulk. I don't want to get too fucking fat, because I'd rather lean bulk than look like a fat shit on a bulk. But yeah, this is what it led to right here. I'd definitely say I've gained a bit of size at this stage, like decent enough. This would have been like a year and a half, around that sort of thing. And now we get to current day, the ones that I will display right here. It's been a long journey. I've almost been training seriously all this, like doing some bodybuilding training, but you're not a bodybuilder because you never stepped on stage sort of thing, power building, etc. for like almost 2 years. In November it will be 2 years, and I think I've made it very, very good progress, coming from where I used to be, not only physically but mentally, because mentally I was fucked. I mean, still today I still have remnants of that fucked upness, and just like my past and everything that's happened to me sort of like goes away in the gym, because I get to release it in a way that's not like unhealthy, like drugs, alcohol, going out to parties and all that shit. Because I would say I'm definitely not like everybody else. I am very much an introvert. I like being by myself a lot of the time. And yeah, before the gym, the only socialising I ever did was going to play basketball with my friends. That's it. And hell, even before my friends, I didn't go out at all. I just stayed inside. I did my games. I did all that shit. I just stayed inside. I did not go out. But yeah, it has been tough in my life, sort of thing. So like, I've had my own issues, you probably have your own issues, and all I've got to say is there is always a way forward, no matter how you feel, because yeah, everything can come crashing down, but you can still like get yourself out, sort of thing. And yeah, this is just like my progression of how I have become a man, necessarily. And yeah, I'm pretty fucking proud of it, because from where I used to be, which I'll say this prior warning, is I used to be suicidal. I used to think I want to kill myself. I was like, my life's so shit. What's the point of me even living? To now where yeah, I still have my ups and downs, but I'm like, I'm stable mostly. Back then I used to be constantly unstable and just like on edge. Granted, this year's had its ups and downs where I've felt like, what's the point of even living? But that's mainly due to like family problems and problems at home. And now I finished college, it's a lot more pressure on me to get a job. And currently, I'll let you know, I have not found one yet. And it's very hard to find one in this economy. And you just feel like a failure sometimes. But honestly, I'm going to keep trying. It's who I am. I will always try to be my best. Even if it means, you know, I have to wait a long time just to try and get a position. Because I've had interviews, I've had all that, but they have not hired me. Probably because someone better, someone with a degree or whatever. But I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm not going to just give up. And that's what I sort of preach. Never give up, even though times are extremely tough like this. So like, my current biggest problem is I don't have a job. I see everybody around me have a job. They're at uni, enjoying themselves. What am I doing? I'm at home doing videos. I'm going to the gym. I'm looking for jobs for like 5 hours each day. And it's like, what am I doing? And when they ask, oh, how you been? What you been doing? It's sort of like the same answer. And it's like disheartening in a way. But you know something, giving up is for people who just don't see a way forward. And I do see a way forward. Because no matter what hits me, no matter what comes my way, I will face it head on and I will get through it. And that's what I thoroughly believe. Now granted, the gym is not the only thing that's actually helped with my mental state. Meditation, gratitude journaling, that sort of thing. That sort of thing will make you more aware of things. So like the meditation makes you aware of your own emotions. Gratitude makes you grateful, so you're not as depressed. So that sort of thing. But yeah, I have been extremely blessed in my situation to, you know, at least have some things in my life that other people don't, and I don't have things other people have. It's just like, you can't always think, why me? You gotta think, why don't I do something now? Because you can't help your situation. These are external factors. You have your internal factors. You either give up or you just do something about it. And I'm trying to do something about it. I'm trying to do this sort of thing. I'm trying to do all sorts. I'm just selling stuff. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm trying to like push myself like to the limit so I can, you know, get the life I want, which is I want to have enough money to be comfortable, almost. to make my family comfortable. Granted, I am probably going to be a workaholic. When I get older, I'm going to be like, I'm too bored, I need work. That's typically how I am. I do this because I was bored and I need some work. I read because I need something to work on. But yeah, if I can get like this, so like physically and mentally, you can. That's my message. I am just your average kid in a UK town. Granted, it's shit. It's shit over here. You have all your gang shin, all blah blah blah, all the cowards out there, and then it's just like, yeah, life's life. I push through, and I get what, I get out of it, really. There's no point on like saying, oh, my genetics are bad, blah, 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 I'm gonna give up. If you are a skinny guy and you want to get big, here's my advice. You bulk. You lean bulk. You don't go to a fat shit where you have to cut all the weight. You lean bulk. You make yourself up to 15% body fat. 20 is max. Like, Jesus, if you go beyond 20, you're a fat lad. 15% body fat, you bulk that shit up. You try and like do the movements where you can hit most best. You can do some powerlifting alongside your weightlifting. So what I find is the strongest people are always the biggest. Is that any correlation? Probably not. Look at that. If you look at Nathaniel Messiah, all these powerlifters, they are big, they are massive, and they're natural. Dave trains, he's big, he's not. Is he natural? No, he's actually on enhancements, I think. Whatever, I don't even know. Andrew Eubanks,